So this episode is going to be called Why I Transitioned. So I've talked a lot about transitioning in general, but I haven't talked too much recently about why I transitioned or much about my transition journey. So I wanted to take some time today to really go over why I transitioned and why it's so important to me to identify as a woman. For a lot of my life, I felt like there wasn't something quite right. I didn't know if it was with me or if it was with the world around me. I just knew that I didn't really fit in and that I didn't really feel comfortable in the social circles that I was a part of. I think that a lot of times we think of transitioning as something that someone decides to do. But for me, it was just kind of figuring out who I was and a natural process of becoming that person once I started figuring out who that person really was. I just never really felt comfortable or authentically me when I was doing things that were traditionally masculine. And it was a long time of figuring out exactly what didn't feel right and what I could do about that. For me, it was also a large part of my mental health journey and trying to work through my depression and realizing that a lot of the things that I was doing were actually making my depression worse. I didn't just wake up one night and decide that I wanted to be transgender. For me, it was years of processing and working through repressed trauma and societal expectations and my own beliefs and figuring out that a lot of those things were making me uncomfortable. At the end of the day, I transitioned because I felt like it would make me feel better, and it did. And the more that I started going into it and letting myself go and enjoying the experience, the more I found that I just found things that I was naturally comfortable with. The more I started to transition and the more I was able to do things that made me feel comfortable as my authentic self, the more I realized what it felt like to feel good. And I can't describe to you what it's like to feel good after not feeling good your whole life, but I wanted more of it. And to me, it was worth giving up anything in my life that I needed to continue to feel good about who I was and what I was doing in this space that we call Earth. I don't think there's any one reason to transition, but if something makes you happy, I think it's truly satanic to think that doing more of it will suddenly make you really unhappy, as long as you're not hurting anyone. All I know is that my life has gotten a lot better since I transitioned. And for a lot of people, I know it's gotten better for them too. And so if you think that you might enjoy transitioning, try it. Because again, as long as you don't medically transition, you can always go back. So thank you for your time. Thank you for sharing the space with me. And I hope you enjoyed learning about why I transitioned. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Much love always.